Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. The following video will contain spoilers from the Powerless pilot episode Win or Lose. So, if you don't want anything spoiled or ruined for you, stop watching now. Hey guys, Dave here. And I just got done watching the pilot episode of Powerless called Win or Lose. It features Vanessa Hudgens as perky small-town girl Emily Locke, who manages to, not only is in love with the idea about superheroes, but is inspired to, in her own way, to make things happen. So, she gets a job with Wayne Security to try to come up with ideas and devices that'll save the little guy from collateral damage. In fact, on her very first day to work, she ends up getting her train derailed during a battle with former Global Guardian member Jack-O-Lantern, and against the Justice League Europe member Crimson Fox, who they decide to give her super strength and leaping abilities that she never had as a character. So that's kind of a strike against them. I mean, this isn't like in the Arrowverse where they gave the Atom an exoskeleton suit to boost him up. This is just flat out changing around the character. And, so Crimson Fox catches the train. Of course, we saw that in the original pilot for the thing. And, Emily is all blown away by it, wearing mostly primary colors, like a knockoff of Dick Tracy. And everyone else is just inconvenienced. There's even a little part at the beginning where Adam West is voicing over a commercial for Wayne Securities. She gets into the job and finds that a lot of the employees are disgruntled because there's been 4 other people before her. They tried to make items and ideas that would help to better things, but they always kept getting knocked down by their boss, Van Wayne, whose apparently only great thing is being Bruce Wayne's cousin, and he thinks that Charm City is an armpit. He wants to get the heck out of there and go to the office in Gotham. So Emily's trying to help come up with an idea to get things going, and surprise, surprise, for extra tension, in the middle of the frickin' show, Bruce has decided to shut down the R&D unit of Wayne Security, so Van gets to fire everybody and get moved to Gotham. Before everyone gets officially laid off, Emily tries to rouse the people to get going, but they're just horrible ideas. I mean, one of the guys has kryptonite glass to keep Superman from breaking, the glass every time there's a superhero fight, but he didn't take into account that what happens if someone's trapped inside and he has to get to save them. Little things like that. And one thing that the female inventor comes up with is a device to detect people that she didn't like. They called it the Emily detector. This eventually becomes the prototype for an idea that instead of being something detected by line of sight, since Emily's father was a florist, much like the comic book identity of Black Canary, which is still a tender subject. Watch my Arrow roasts and you'll see why. She figures out, what if we use that to detect bad guys like Jack-O-Lantern every time he decides to try destroying things? And they actually decide to go ahead and put it through. They confront Van about it, who's just the complete stereotypical idiot boss who's only out for himself. Why this guy's a Wayne, I don't know. And she confronts him with this device called the Jack-O-Alert. I'm not even kidding about the name. Basically, it's an early warning device that's capable of detecting the specific scent of a supervillain, but in this case, Jack-O-Lantern, and it turns out that it works. She threatens to go to Bruce if Van doesn't. Bruce thinks it's a good idea, so the entire team is hired in. And this is the first episode. Oh, and to be convenient, it looks like the Joker, who they can't even afford a guy in a frickin' makeup. They put a rag or a towel over his head while they're Halloween cuffs. Batman captured him by having a device that coincidentally does the same thing as the Jack-O-Alert by using scent to track down the bad guys. And the guys are saying, I wish we worked for Batman. At least they think he would get them. This show, I know that we lost a director for the thing because of creative differences. I know that it was converted from a insurance company to a security company, which it's kind of okay, but there's nothing that really stands out about it. Sure, it takes place in the DC universe, but if they can't even get someone like Crimson Fox's powers right, it feels like the show itself sees the characters and everything in the world as a joke. And not a good joke either. That's the worst part. I mean, I'm all for good humor. I mean, there's plenty of heroes that you can laugh about. Plastic Man's a big one. Booster Gold. There's all kind of possibilities you can entertain. But this show is just a standardized network cookie cutter sitcom that takes these same worn out ideas, same format, and just happens to have it in the DC universe where people feel small and diminished and less in the face of these superheroes. Now, there is potential for this, and it looks like there's going to be at least 3 more episodes of this, but to be perfectly honest, I think that people tuned in just to see what kind of hype that the show would be able to deliver, what kind of possibilities it could do. What can this show give us that shows like Arrow or the others can't? And they're trying to make it funny, but it's just so generic. Vanessa Hudgens does a fairly decent job for what she's doing, but there's nothing really stand out here. Everything else is just a standard sitcom mold that just happens to be in a superhero world. So even in the world of the extraordinary, this comes off as just ordinary, forgettable fodder. And that's really depressing when you think about it. I mean, why, with all this potential, with superheroes being such a big hot commodity, this has just been ham-fisted in my personal opinion. It's not that great. It's derivative. It's drivel. And I honestly don't know if it's going to make it past 4 episodes. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Please like, comment, subscribe, share, pass this bad boy around. Until next time, Dave signing off.